So yesterday, Evo had their show or whatever to announce what games are going to be at Evo Las Vegas. And obviously, just looking at this poster, there is one, I think, major one missing. But obviously, we'll talk about that later. So going down the list, Street Fighter, the biggest fighting game out right now. It's big worldwide, Japan, South America, North America. Obviously, it should be here. Tekken 8, I would say it's the second biggest. Obviously, like it might not have the biggest prize pools like Fatal Fury or Street Fighter, but I feel like Tekken 8 is very well accepted in the community. Fatal Fury, Saudi money, Evo just got bought out by Saudi. You know, it makes sense. And this is probably the biggest game in the world right now when it comes to prize pools and sponsors. Like you got like T1, Navi, Liquid. I hope so. I'm just naming big orgs and hoping they're in it. Vitality. So it makes sense. Unist is one, or Under Night Inbirth is one that I actually didn't think would come back, but it's pretty cool that comes back. It always gets like patched, so glad it's getting love shown. Grand Blue, I'm like 90% sure it just got rolled back, or maybe like a year ago it got rolled back. So that's cool of them to have at Evo. I don't know much about Grand Blue, so I'm not gonna speak too much on it. Rivals though, Rivals of Aether 2 is gas for me here, bro. I feel like we've needed a platformer at Evo for so long, and ever since Nintendo just stopped letting them use Smash for whatever reason, or maybe Evo just doesn't want to use Smash, I feel like has been so depressing. I actually like Rivals of Aether 2, so I'm very excited to watch that and maybe restream it. Might be one of the games I restream, but yeah, it's dope that we get another platformer, especially since like all the platformers be coming out like low key like ass. Like Multiverses was terrible when it officially released. Beta was okay, and then Nickelodeon was a letdown Mickey Mouse game. So it's cool. Rivals is in it. Also, I think Ludwig owns Rivals, so that's fire. Invincible Versus is insane. So that I'm gonna just touch on it right now because it makes sense. The fact that Invincible Versus is here and Tokon and Avatar isn't or aren't, so that means that like they're nowhere near done, right? So both those games are probably gonna come out late 2026, and that's why they couldn't be here. While Invincible comes out early 2026, which is insane, by the way, because I would think Tokon's more done than Invincible, but hey, I don't know. It makes sense that Avatar's not here. Obviously, it was alpha, so you can't expect much from them. But the fact that Invincible is here, gas. That's only the second tag fighter, I believe. So that's cool. Strive, people still love Strive. I don't know how many people are gonna play it. There's actually a lot of anime fighters this year. Like, I guess like it was the same last year, but like, I don't know. I'm not big on the Strive anymore. I used to be. I'm just not too tapped in, so I don't know what'll be going on over there. But hopefully they like the game. I know Potemkin's still broke. I know they're still waiting on that patch, so it's kind of depressing. Virtua Fighter 5. I actually don't know the last time we've seen a Virtua Fighter at Evo. So the fact that the new one came out this year and people are actually like fucking with it, it's pretty cool. I don't know how well it'll do with entrance because I really do think it's a very niche game, but it being there is just cool in general. Okay, so allegedly the last Virtua Fighter was on fucking PS2. That's crazy. There hasn't been a Virtua Fighter for 23 years. I was looking up like when was the last time it's at Evo, and I just couldn't find anything. I think the fifth one was at Evo last year, but I think it was like some side thing. But that's insane, bro. I'm glad they're finally getting a spot then. Fuck yeah. I also think it has a big prize pool. I could be wrong. So their retro game is Vampire Savior. I don't know anything about it. I actually know nothing about this game. Is this the game where Morgan's from? Am I bugging? Vampire Savior Morgan. Okay, so this is the game she's from. That's pretty cool. Yeah, besides that, I don't know shit about her or the game. So I don't know who plays it. I don't know how big it is. I low-key would have rather seen like MK3. So we can just get at least one in there. But it's okay. Blaze Blue. I know Blaze Blue just got rolled back. So I hope that's probably the reason why it has a lot of interest right now. So congrats to them. That's cool. Yeah, like I said, 4 anime fighters is fucked. Not fucked, but it's like, holy shit. There's only 12 games. A third of it is anime fighters. And then, obviously, the last one, 2XKO. Duh. There is 0% chance this was Miss Evo. There's, like, no way. The game's getting its actual release now, right? With console and crowdfunding and all these and new character, gas. Apparently, they have something to show off at the Game Awards too. Same for Invincible, but also it's gonna be a big game competitively, like 100%. I feel like people still have fun playing it. So it's interesting. I'm glad 2XK was there. Now, the obvious elephant in the room is MK is not here, and I'm not even trolling. I really felt like I haven't seen an Evo graphic without an MK logo or Injustice or something like that in so long. So I was like, how long has it been since they haven't made an Evo like main series? And then Rima made a tweet. It's been 14 years. They've been on Evo since 2011. They finally missed out on a spot, and it just makes sense, bro. No one at the studio cares about the game. Either that or they were like forced to drop help for the game or anything like that because they're working on Injustice 3, right? It has to be Injustice 3. I refuse to believe they run it back with MK2. Like, it's impossible. If it is, I'll shave my head, bro. I don't care. There's no way MK2 is coming out. So maybe they just need all hands on deck or help, whatever, for that game. And Ed Boon made a tweet saying how like the last patch wasn't gonna be the quote unquote last patch, and here we are like 4 months later, sitting there, dick in hand, nothing, bro. They haven't even updated us. So I'm 90% sure that was the last patch, and if we do get another patch, it's gonna be so small, so unbelievably small. And yeah, you could argue that maybe, and I mean maybe, MK could have like more entrants than like Virtual Fighter or like Rivals, maybe Grand Blue or like Vampire Saber. But even then, it's like I think all these games deserve it more. What I thought they could have done is that like MK3 could have been the retro game because the Legacy Collection came out, and it would make sense. Like, oh look, Legacy Collection MK3, you still get a spot, blah blah. But that Legacy Collection came out with such shit. And apparently they use the AI. So it's like, even then, no one gives a fuck again. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like NRS just doesn't care for their games. And it makes it very obvious and easy for other people to not care, like Evo. So, yeah, I'm not really surprised that MK missed a spot. And I really do think every other game deserves it more. Or at least a chance to show that they deserve more. So, that makes sense. One thing I will say about Evo this year that I think is really sick is that of these 12 games, 6 of them are arena games. So I'm assuming 6 of them will be played on Sunday, or like 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday in the arena. But people get to vote which one gets to be in the arena. So for me, I'm gonna tell you my dream 6, and then you guys in the comments can tell me yours. I think Street Fighter 6, duh. It has to end. I won't speak too much on what has to end. Okay, Street Fighter 6, Tekken. I would love Rivals in the arena. I think it'd be gas. Even if it's Saturday or Sunday, as long as it's not like early morning Saturday where like no one cares, then I'll be very excited. Fatal Fury has to be there. 2XAO has to be the last spot. Like, it legitimately, that has to be the last spot, but it has to be a spot there. It has to be Sunday, in my opinion. And then I'll do Invincible Versus. I think Invincible is a big enough IP to the point where people would want to see it. I don't know how many people will play it though. I did see the beta was well received to some extent. Like, Rebel, my friend, he loved it. He couldn't get off it. And he's a big Invincible fan. So hopefully, like, if you're a big Invincible fan, then like you would love the game and, you know, show it love. So I think those are my 6. Now for Saturday, I really think it'd be Rivals on Ether on Saturday morning. Unfortunately, Invincible during the day. Fatal Fury to close the night. Then I think IMO Tekken 8 Sunday morning. Stay woke. Street Fighter ends it 2XKO middle of Sunday. That's how I see it. Everything else, I just don't see like them getting a spot. I really think those 6 are like low-key guaranteed. Maybe like an anime fighter over Rivals. But I just think having a platformer again in Evo Arena would be cool as fuck. So hopefully that wins. I'll for sure be making those with my votes. But yeah, let me know who you guys want to see in the arena. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care. Bye.